Make true of an empty promise. With gods in the weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Welcome to Wrestling Hill Talk, where we talk all things wrestling, old and new. I'm your host, Stevie. We've got Chuck, Roger, Dr. Nick, Tribal Chief Will himself, Ben Bowman, Tag Champ, and Shane Powers, all lowercase, but uppercase in our hearts. How's everybody feeling this week?
Pretty good.
Great. Feeling good.
Good.
Very good, very good. Chuck, I see you got that nice Fiend cutout in the background there. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
New addition to the room.
Yeah. It's full size.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what she said.
Come on, man. Two of us can't be saying that's what she said at the same time. Well, as per usual, we're going to start off talking about, the recent passing of General Adnan, which Shane actually just pointed it out to me a couple hours ago. I didn't really have a lot to say about General Adnan just because that's not from my era. So if somebody else wants to say something, go right ahead, man.
I'm not going to say he was one of the best managers, but he was up there in my top 10. I mean, he did a great job, and Sergeant Slaughter sold it so well with him. I mean, he was very good at what he did. But I'd put him in my top 10 easily.
I didn't really know him.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is, everybody remembers him from the feud with Hogan and Warrior between Slaughter and Iron Sheik or Colonel Mustafa, whatever you prefer to call him. But I think the biggest thing with him is that's what everybody remembers him from. He was also a singles wrestler, independent wrestler for a very long time. He had a long wrestling career. That whole time period was so influential in WWF that anybody from that era is just going to be important, as part of wrestling history. But he never got the exposure that he probably should have. And I think more along the lines of with him, if you think about General Adnan, everybody thinks SummerSlam 91. But more importantly, if you remember in Madison Square Garden, Hogan gets attacked and the back or whatever it was, and Slaughter's beating him down. And, you had Adnan there. And, I kind of remember that whole thing. As far as his singles career, that was a little bit earlier for all of us. So probably not, something we would all remember. But, and then once that whole feud was over at 91, you really didn't see him too much. But, either way, God bless him and may he rest in peace. And he's still part of that era that was so golden to everybody here and everybody listening. And he still played a big part in it, whether you think he was a top star or not. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he made that part believable. He made you hate him. And that's, basically what his job was, to make the crowd boo him. I mean, he did exactly that.
Yeah. They said reading
that kind of heat you don't see anymore.
Yeah, I was reading back through his things, like Will was saying, he was a very good singles wrestler back in the day.
Oh, there goes Thomas correcting me.
Oh, Hogan was attacked in the back of WrestleMania 7 when Slaughter threw a fireball in Hogan's face.
Yeah, which that's where it was, and that's what set up the match where it was the war match or whatever at Madison Square Garden between Hogan and Slaughter, when Hogan had that green mask on his face.
Oh, the Desert Storm boot camp.
Yeah. They just released a figure of that not too long ago, and that's what set that up. So, thank you to Thomas Brunette and Siri for correcting me.
Welcome, Thomas, to the show, man. We missed you last week.
I think we should talk about Jimmy Buffett too.
Yeah,
you know what? I agree. Hey, I agree, man. I'm in Florida, and Jimmy Buffett in Florida is a big deal. I mean, you guys wouldn't think that, being in other states, but Jimmy Buffett is he's like an icon in Florida.
Oh yeah.
And I don't listen to a lot of his music anymore. I've listened to it a lot of my life, but there's one song that has always been on my playlist forever, and it's still on my playlist today, and it's A Pirate Looks at 40. And if you listen to that song, I know everybody loves Cheeseburger in Paradise, and everybody loves Margaritaville, and yeah, those are good songs. Margaritaville, one of the greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. But A Pirate Looks at 40 is incredible, and there's also another one called He Went to Paris, and those are
that's a beautiful
songs. So, guys, I would highly recommend, even if you're not the world's biggest Jimmy Buffett fan, or you like all that, kill your parents in their sleep, death metal, I would highly recommend, take a minute and listen to a Jimmy Buffett song and get to know him, because he's got some great music out there, and I would highly recommend it. So.
One song that got to me, especially now that I'm a father, he wrote a song about his dad called Captain and the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about how he lost his dad, and just the memories he had of him. And Jimmy Buffett did a lot of things. I mean, he was a songwriter, he was a sailor, he wrote multiple books. I read several of his books, and the life that he lived, and all the musical things that he did with so many artists, because he started out as a country singer, and then it gradually went into sort of his own genre of the beach, the margarita, the drinks, the parties. That's what he became most notable for. But he started out
I can't tell you how many of his songs I listened to as a teenager, drinking underage at teenager parties, and how many times I listened to the song Volcano, and I was so smashed just laying there listening to it, and I'm like, I don't know where he's going to go either. If you know the words to the song Volcano, you would know, because Jimmy Buffett in the song is talking about, I don't know where I'm going to go when the volcano blows, is kind of the lyrics of the song. So I'm laying there probably 18, maybe 19, but probably 18, 17, laying there, and I'm like, I don't know where Jimmy's going to go either when the volcano blows. You know what I mean? So very, very, very influential man. Self-made billionaire. Most people don't realize that, or right at it. Self-made billionaire, and started from nothing. And you talked about him being a country singer. There's a lot of songs out there that he has that most people don't even realize is Jimmy Buffett. For example, the song "Come Monday." A lot of people don't realize that's Jimmy Buffett, and that's been played on country music stations for years and years.
Oh yeah,
and he's had a lot of big hits later in life too. He had some songs with Zach Brown. He had a remake of Margaritaville with Alan Jackson, and several other songs too. He redid the "Hey Good Lookin'," which was, of course, Hank Williams' senior song. He redid that a few years ago, or I say a few years ago, it's probably 10 or 12, 15 years ago now. But to me, it was a few years ago, So,
he had such a following that his fans were known as parrot heads. I mean, I never got to go to any of his concerts, but I did meet him that one time several years ago, which was amazing.
Here in Texas is just like Florida. It's George Strait and him. I learned as a kid Margaritaville. I mean, that's what you're taught here. But also to caveat what you were saying, William, he did a duet with Kenny Chesney, and him and Kenny Chesney were great friends. He did one with him as well, and it's a sad thing that he's gone. He was taken over by cancer, and like you said before, time's gonna get you whenever it gets you. Unfortunately, we lost a great singer, songwriter, right there, and
And
that I want to.
not just that though, you know, not just a great singer songwriter, but a piece of American history. And that's the thing
Yeah.
too. You know, we talk about, you know, these different people that have passed and these eras that have passed, and it's like these are all things either from our youth or our parents' youth. I mean, you got to think about it here. Everybody here is kind of close in age. I mean, some of us got a few more years than the others, but you know, our parents listen to that stuff, and we listen to that stuff. Our kids, especially mine, listen to that stuff. So it's like these are generational things. You know, multiple
Yep.
generations, you know, have been influenced by these people. The one good thing positively that I can say about wrestlers, about sports stars, about actors, about musicians, different things like that is they really never die. They never really go away. And
Yep.
the reason I say that is because, you know, for example, you think about, I'm just going to throw one out there. I'm going to think about Roddy Piper. You know, even though Roddy's gone and he's been gone for quite a while now, you can still turn on the network and see Roddy in all of his glory and all of his life. And
Yep.
you can turn on, you know, your favorite movie and watch an actor, say Heath Ledger, just an example. I'm throwing examples out there. You want to turn on a movie and see Heath Ledger, you can do that. You know, where, you know, there's more of a not an immortality but a longevity of life, a sustained life after death
Yep.
with celebrities than there is, you know, your everyday folks. So look, for example, 1997, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, you know, they passed away, murdered, and to this day you can't go a full day without having, you know, hip hop music on and not hearing either a Tupac Shakur song or a Biggie Smalls song. I would challenge anybody, if you listen to a hip hop channel or a you know, an alternative music channel, you're going to hear something, and most likely it's going to be you know, either California Dreamin' by Tupac, or it's going to be
California
I
Love.
can't think of the one. California Love, California Love,
Yeah.
or it's going to
Hypnotized
be
by Biggie.
Hypnotized by Biggie. You know, so yeah, I mean, yes, they're gone. Their individual body, their earthly presence is gone, but you know, they're still going, even though, you know, they're gone. And you know, the craziest thing, way off topic, the craziest thing about Biggie right before he died, he was set to release an album called Life After Death, and of course he was murdered, he was killed, and you know, that album came out, that Life After Death, and you know, that album went like, you know, sold millions of copies, did all kinds of crazy stuff, and you know, he didn't experience that level of success in life, but he experienced that success of life, and you know, or success in life after life in his death. Same thing with Michael Jackson. You know, Michael Jackson had been kind of off the charts. He'd been kind of off the radios. You didn't really hear a lot about Michael Jackson. You didn't hear a lot of his music being played because he had so many different things that came up in life where people were like, you know, is he guilty? Is he not guilty? Is he a good person? Is he a bad person? You know, so you didn't really hear a lot about him. But then in 2009, he passes away, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he goes, like, he's on the charts again, on the Billboard charts with several of his songs because they're so played that, you know, he ends up getting back on the charts, and um, makes millions and millions and millions of dollars after his death, from his songs being played either through streaming or through record sales or CD sales, all that stuff. So again,
Yeah.
my thought process is with celebrities, even though they're gone, they have an extended longevity. So, you know, one of the things they talk about is, you know, if you believe in the Lord above, and I'm not getting religious, that you'll have an everlasting life. And the thing is, as long as somebody remembers you or knows who you are, or, you know, knows your song or knows your, you know, movie, or knows your wrestling match or your sports game or whatever it may be, you never really truly die. So again, they have a different level of mortality. And I'll leave it at that.
Has
You
anybody
could,
ever seen the movie? I don't know if it was Pixar or whatever. Coco.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That movie, I ugly cried when I realized that because people didn't remember who these people were, that you would disappear forever. And that was basically part of their culture, that as long as there was somebody alive to remember you and honor your legacy, you would never truly go away.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, like, wow, like my generation, now that I have a son, he's going to carry on that legacy of my family. My brother's kids are going to carry on the legacy of everybody in my family. So, the idea of, eventually one day I'm going to be gone, but somebody's going to remember me. And that made me feel a little bit better.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely.
You ever hear about death anxiety? A lot of people, especially younger people, have death anxiety where like they'll wake up in the middle of the night and they'll realize one day, oh no, I'm not going to be here one day, and like they freak out, they get scared, and everything else. You guys heard of death anxiety and people
Oh, yeah.
that worry about being gone and everything else, right?
I haven't.
Yeah, I know. You and I have had this conversation, Stephen. But the other guys,
Right here.
Roger knows too. So, but there's a thing where, again, I'm trying not to include any religion in this, but I'm trying to give a different viewpoint than what may be out there mainstream. There's a thought process in everything happens for a reason. I mean, everything is like detail planned out. Everybody you ever meet, everybody you ever talk to, everything you ever do in life is detail planned out. So if you know this and you believe this, then your expiration, your death, your time when it ends will have ended because your plan was done. That's when your plan ended, and you would go on to your next level or your next whatever. There's a reason that they call it so and so passed away. That like they passed on, like they've graduated from this life to the next, or they've graduated to an eternal life.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with that. And I wasn't much of a believer in a lot of that stuff as a younger person, but as an older person now, as I get older and I've experienced loved ones pass away, either holding their hands or being right there next to them, and it's like, I can see more and more how all of that makes sense. I had a loved one pass away not too long ago, and I was right there next to her and holding her hand, and it was almost like it was so destined the way it happened that night. It was just so destined to happen that way, and it was like, wow, maybe this really was all part of a plan. And so that's my thought process is, if everything's a part of a plan and it's already predetermined and it's nothing you can ever do anything about anyway, and you're never going to know it as a human person that you're not here anymore because it's not how it works, then why not just enjoy what you have, enjoy your time, and when it's over, and it's not going to matter. My whole thought process with my kids is, man, I don't want to die because I'll miss my kids so much. But in reality, you're going to move on and you're going to be doing something else, and you'll still be able to view them, and you're going to, dwell in the everlasting life afterwards. So again, I know this went totally off the rails. Basically, we needed the train noises this week. Went totally off the rails, but at the
That's our
same
style.
time, yeah, I know. But at the same time, I think maybe somebody in the chat right now, maybe they needed to hear that, or maybe one of you guys needed to hear that, or maybe I needed to say it. I don't know, but I mean, that's my thought process. But get us back on track, Stephen.
Absolutely, yeah. So RIP to General Adnan and Jimmy Buffett, also the lead singer of Smash Mouth and Bob Barker. Definitely got to mention them. But in other news, we can go ahead and move into WWE and AEW news. So I actually was able to watch WWE this week. And, I thought that Chad Gable versus Gunther match was pretty good. And you know, they've been getting really good at telling their match stories in the modern era, because they really make me think that some shit is going to happen, and then, you know, it doesn't. So kudos to them for putting on great work. But then seeing his daughters in the front row kind of cry because he lost, that was kind of a bummer. But hopefully after Gunther gets his record and dethrones Honky Tonk Man, which I'm still a
I
little
believe
upset
he's
about.
already done that.
Well, probably by now, yeah. But on Monday, Monday it was like a week. Yeah, they were saying it was going to be like a week from now on Monday. But hopefully they let Gable actually take it from him after he beats the record. I don't know how long they're going to want him to prolong that.
I think it would be funny if during a match, Gunther's getting ready to win, Honky comes out and smashes him with a guitar.
That would be great.
Just
that would be awesome. And then also I wanted to bring up the Seth Rollins and Shinsuke feud. I'm in on that. Like that's good shit.
Yeah. They're finally using Shinsuke for what he is. You know,
absolutely.
I had seen a little bit of him when he wrestled in Japan. I didn't watch a lot of him, but I knew who he was before he came over. And, you know, like we've all said, they've ever since the match with him and AJ Styles, it's just kind of went, you know, nowhere.
Right.
Having a talent like him on the roster and not using him is
they were trying to build him
so
up with
sad.
They were trying to build him up with Rick Boogs, but then, you know, Boogs got hurt, and then they, I guess, scratched that whole idea.
Yeah, they've totally misused Nakamura. They've totally misused him.
I was going to say, you said that last
huge
week.
Contender. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll say it again next week, too, because they have totally misused that guy. What a world champion he could be. Like, that dude right there, you could literally make him, like, totally intimidating, threatening. You could physically fear that guy, because that guy could legit kick a lot of people's ass out there, especially in wrestling. And they have him getting dogged and just beat. You know what I mean? He whooped the hell out of Seth that whole match. Seth comes back, stomps him, done, 1, 2, 3. It's like, makes no sense. I mean, at the very least in that match, and then I'll shut up after this, guys, I promise. But at the very least in that match, it should have been a count out or disqualification, because I think, you know, Nakamura should have went outside and got a chair or a kendo stick or some sort of weapon and just whooped the piss out of Seth even more. Or, you know, he should have got counted out or something. They should not have had Seth go over clean on him, because you were building that feud, and that's where a lot of wrestling is missing now. You build these feuds for like 3 weeks, and then they come to a quick conclusion. Now you got to build a new one. Why would you not draw that out? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They are drawing this out because after the match that people didn't see, Shinsuke beat the crap out of Rollins again, attacked him after the match was over. So they haven't closed the gate on that. They haven't shut the door on it. They're keeping it going. That's why Rollins came out and told him that he wanted to fight him right there.
But the victory has happened. So
yeah,
Dr. Nick and I talk about this, you know, quite a bit, but we talked about this on this show several times. With a wrestling match, especially a big-time world title match, you need what's called the roller coaster, right? The roller coaster effect. You need the low, you need the build, you need the high moment, and then you need the backslide coming down. When you've already had the champion cleanly beat the challenger, what the hell is the point? Just to watch him beat him again for the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views?
Well, and the thing that is so confusing to me, a lot of people shit on the match that he had with AJ Styles, and they need to understand that American fans are different from Japanese crowd.
Right.
A lot of the stuff that, you know, a lot of the wrestlers do now in America, we're so used to it. In Japan, when somebody does a big move, everybody, you know. Here, there's nothing anybody can do. Like for instance, a lot of the stuff that people do now of the high flying and the strong style, if you were to do that in the 80s, And even like in the early '90s, when Sean was doing stuff, and Sean Waltman and Razor, a lot of the stuff that they were doing was so new. They were like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that?" Now, when somebody does something from the top rope that even looks difficult, no big deal. So, the idea that they were going to get the same result, like when Shinsuke and Seth.
Dr. Nick, can I give you an example of that? A move that should be oohed and awed, and it's just like, oh, here she goes again with that crap. Charlotte Flair doing the backwards moonsault off the top rope is such an incredible move. It has to be timed just right. It has to be, measured out just right. And if she misses her measurement or her timing, she goes splat on the floor.
Yep.
And you can't go, splat 15 feet down to the floor. If you do, you probably ain't gonna be the champion very much more because you're gonna be walking a little funny.
Certainly not gonna feel like a champion.
I'll give you another example. Back the Undertaker walking the top rope like that.
Absolutely.
That was something. One little slip is all it takes, and you know what I mean. He'd be right on his face.
Well, when I first saw RVD do the frog splash, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh yeah. Seth Rollins' frog splash in that match at Payback was pretty damn good too.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the next thing that they could do, and I don't know if they can recover from this fully, but the next match they have, he has to beat the shit out of Rollins. He has to. It has to be, Rollins has to escape by the skin of his teeth in order for it to be believable.
Okay,
That's the only way that can happen.
Let's throw this into it. Rollins has a legit back injury. He gives up the belt to Shinsuke so he can go have surgery for his back or whatever. So he'll be out for a little bit, and Shinsuke will be the champion.
And that's what should have happened at Payback. That's exactly what should have happened. Is it should have went to Shinsuke, and if they were so worried about having that, which let's face it, let's call it what it is, and you guys can boo this if you want, but that's the secondary world title. That's not the real world champion, okay? So if they're so worried about putting the secondary world championship on Shinsuke, then why not have Shinsuke win it, even if it's in an unclean fashion, and then immediately have Damian cash in and take it right off of him?
I was just about to say that.
Absolutely. At least then you have given him that title, even if he doesn't have a chance to hold it or defend it. At least then he's been the world champion, and I think that's a good, way to at least get it on him. Now, then he can go and he can chase Damian for the title, and then you've created what's called a program out of those series of matches. Is what you've done. But what they did by putting a champion over the bad guy, over the challenger, makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't think it should have happened, especially with a secondary world title.
Yeah. No, I agree, and that's what I was just
and they could do it in the style of like they used to, of both Seth and Shinsuke beat the crap out of each other. Shinsuke wins it. He's laying there tired with the belt. Then all of a sudden, music hits. Senor Money in the Bank.
Absolutely.
Shinsuke attacks him. They both go back and forth a little bit. Done.
Yep.
And you only have to do that if you're worried about having Shinsuke as a champion. That's the only time you have to do that. But basically that Raw WWE Championship or whatever WWE Heavyweight Championship, whatever the hell it's called, that title is basically the old time Intercontinental title now. Really, that's what it is. And if you're that worried about having Shinsuke hold that belt, then you can do that. But if you're not that worried about Shinsuke holding that belt, you can put that belt on him. You can have Damian, say, hey, I want to be number one contender. Seth is gone. There's no other number one contender right now. And he doesn't even have to cash in at that point. Then if Damian somehow loses or whatever happens, then you can have, another event you can have a cash in at. Because at some point, if Damian actually gets beat by Shinsuke or anybody else gets beat, then you have Finn Balor step up. And, Bobby Lashley and some of these other guys can definitely step up and get in there. You've got, Jey Uso, that you could put in there because he's a contender for a world title, even though he should be in a tag title matches.
It's just me, Oos.
Yeah, exactly. It's just him, Oos. So the thing is, you could have him, go after Nakamura. There's a lot of guys you could have challenge and chase Nakamura. You could have Miz challenge and chase Nakamura. LA Knight gets his WWE championship from Nakamura. You got LA Knight, who is virtually your number one good guy right now, above everybody else. There's nobody else more popular as a good guy right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you could have him go chase down Nakamura as the world champion or Raw champion or whatever the hell you want to call it. What is the name of that title? Does anybody know what the actual name is of that belt?
I think it's just called the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And then the other ones,
I understand.
And the other one's the Undisputed Champion.
Yeah.
Undisputed Universal.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but there's a lot of programs you can work there. That's what we're missing. 1993, you had programs. 94, you had programs. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, you had programs in wrestling. You don't have programs anymore. You have matches that make no damn sense. That's my thoughts.
But my thought, hearing all this, probably one reason why Shinsuke Nakamura is not the champion, which is not his fault because he's a hell of a talent, deserves it, but the language barrier. Like I said, he needs a good mouthpiece. He needs a good manager to go out there and speak that shit to people.
Rick Boogs.
That way, yeah, like that way. Like I know it can't be a Paul Heyman because Paul's with Roman, but they need more managers or a mouthpiece to step in to help some of these great talent that can't really speak on the mic or in front of people. And it's it's not against him. Sometimes I can barely understand what Shinsuke's saying. I mean, he's funny, but I mean,
so two things with that, because this opens up a whole new can of worms right here. Number one, where are the Jimmy Harts and Bobby Heenans and Harley Races of 2023? Why in the hell do you not have a little Jimmy Hart, a little Harvey Whippleman, running around with a megaphone outside the ring? Get him, baby! You know what I mean? Like, why don't you have that in 2023? So that you're absolutely right with that. Number two, my second thought on that is he's been here for, I don't know, close to 10 years. It's got to be close to 10 years now in WWE. So John Cena learned how to speak Mandarin in like 3 days. How come Shinsuke can't learn how to speak English in like 10 years? I mean,
well, and it's not
I think
fair
he
to
does.
him.
He
But
does
it's like-
speak English. It's just his accent is so thick.
Yeah, and well, it's just like, for example, too, Asuka, hell of a talent, champion. Look how long she holds the title. It's not really long at all. She just beat Bianca, and then like that, they just took it away from her. It's just going to be like they're going to have to cash in with Damian if he does win it, but he's a hell of a talent. They need, like, some of these talents that cannot speak or that has a problem in front of, doing the mic stuff. They need a manager. Bad. And it's
Well, I mean,
Well,
I
somebody
thought
might
MVP was
disagree
a
with
good
me
manager.
on this, but I think Damian Priest sounds like a speak and spell. Like, dude, like when he gets the mic, it's so monotone. It's like, I'm Damian Priest. I don't like you. Like, it's so just too rehearsed. There's no feeling to it. And for me, especially when somebody does a promo, whether you're a bad guy or a good guy, I want some emotion. Show me you hate this guy. Don't sit there and just la la la. It's so just repetitive. Every week he comes out.
The thing is too.
We don't like
the
you.
Thing is, Nick. The thing is, promos in our day, right? They didn't just come out to the ring and cut promos. They literally would like video record promos and everything else. I mean, you built a program, right? Nowadays, they have to come out to the ring.
Segments.
Nowadays they have to come out to the ring. They have to take the mic. They have to talk for 5 minutes. and it never makes any sense. It's like this person, they're not equal to the level of the Judgment Day, but they never go out there and say, "Look, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of so and so, and here's why." And here, they don't do that anymore. Where back in the day,
yeah,
it's
almost like
and tell you
there's a script backstage where it's like insert name, blah blah blah, insert name, don't like you, insert name. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know if this is true, but supposedly within the last 10 years, Vince especially has not been high on tag teams and managers. And when they bring talent into NXT, like the new recruits, one of the initiatives within the last couple of years, for what I understand, was to train referees, train managers, train people that, not just wrestlers. Not everybody could be a wrestler. Take the guy who is really good and talented, but doesn't have, the strength or the speed, but can talk. Like The Miz was brought in originally as a host for the Diva Search. He was a personality, and then he turned into a wrestler. Whether people don't like The Miz or like The Miz, I like him. If somebody would be able to talk like him, and they need people to teach people, like you said, to be the Jimmy Hart, to be the Bobby Heenan. What are they going to do for commentators when Michael Cole retires? Corey Graves is decent, but Michael Cole's the only person left from the old era.
Yeah.
So today's following, right? Wrestling. The average age group, I can't remember, but I want to say it's like 24 to 34. I could be wrong, but it's pretty damn close, right? So 24 to 34-year-olds watching today's show, they would remember the days of people like Jimmy Hart. So tell me that if you had somebody like, I don't know, just an example, say you had somebody like MVP, just an example, goes out there with a megaphone and starts screaming to Bobby Lashley, break his legs, break his back, break his, tell me as a fan that you wouldn't get on board very quickly with that, and that wouldn't be exciting as hell to you. Because it would be to me, because that's what's missing. There's no excitement. There's no build it up. There's no, oh my gosh, this guy's, Bobby Lashley's got his lock or whatever the hell he calls it, golden, whatever the hell, the master lock, the hurt locker. But at the same time, it's a full Nelson, and if you're out there screaming on a megaphone, hell, hand him a microphone. Forget the megaphone. Hand him a microphone and have him scream into a microphone for the whole audience while he's got somebody in the hurt locker, and just sit there and talk shit to the wrestler that's in the hurt locker. That's the stuff that's missing. That's the entertainment value. That's the building of the program, because then the guy that got his ass kicked in the hurt locker is now going to have to go and do some Rocky 3 style training, and play some Eye of the Tiger music and get all pumped up, and then come back and face Bobby Lashley and try not to get his ass kicked again,
Well, they had that a little bit with
when
someone
the
brought it up
camera
in the comments too. The Leo Rush, he used to do the microphone stuff during the matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like I used to love when the manager used to be out by the ring, and let's say like his guy was getting beat, he'd be out there just slamming the mat, yelling, "Come on, come on!" And you would get behind him, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I don't like this guy."
Yeah.
Two things to that. In NXT, they do have a couple of managers. They have one for Von Wagner, and then technically, if you want to look at it, you have one for Gallus. So they do have managers there. They haven't brought them up yet, and you could say the same thing about the Rock's daughter. All she does is do manager stuff. She's been in one match. So
what I would do? You know what I would do with Braun Breaker? And again, you guys can tell me to shut up. You can mute my mic. But you know what I would do with Braun Breaker? I would send that dude out there every week in a $10,000 suit, surrounded by women, and surrounded by a manager that could talk for him, and then he could cut promos when he's ready. Just like the old school 40 years ago. And literally, if you think about it, it's been 35, 40 years for Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But your next upcoming talent, history repeats itself in wrestling. Who else right now could you really do that with but Braun Breaker? That guy could go out there and become the 2023 version of the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Here's the thing with that.
I agree.
They were gonna bring him up to the main roster, but they thought it'd be better to turn him heel and see how that went, and it clicked. So that's the only reason that he didn't go up to the main roster.
Yeah. Well, look at Ric Flair. The majority of his career, he was a heel, and you could do that. Now, are you ever going to get the true Nature Boy that you had? No, but you can get a very good sampling of what you need to get and what's missing, and you could literally create a new generation, a new 2023 version of a Four Horsemen. There's a lot you could do. I saw a cut or an edit or a short take or whatever you call it, a reel of 3 or 4 guys running out at NXT, and they're beating the hell on this one guy, and the one guy who's supposed to be punching them in the face is literally punching them in the leg. And I'm like, man, there's so much you could do with that. And the last thing I'll say is this: they're writing for a television show. They're not writing for wrestling. They're writing for a television show, and that's where you get all this other crap. You need to go back to the old school and write for a wrestling show. And I think then when you do that, you'll start to see the things that you need to see. And I would be willing to bet you're going to sell more merchandise. You're going to sell more tickets. And the big thing right now, too, is, they're saying we're making more money on premium live events than we've ever made before, blah, 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 blah. So maybe that's true, but you're also having to run 2 nights of WrestleMania versus 1 night of WrestleMania, and you're having to run all these events longer than you ever ran. SummerSlam back in the day didn't have to be 4.5, 5 hours. 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes was plenty of time to tell the stories you needed to tell, and you could get the hell out of there. Now they're having to do it in 4.5, 5, 6 hours, whatever. One of the last WrestleManias I went to in Orlando, I shit you not, it was over 6 hours of matches that I was there for, so they could tell all the stories. Back in the day, you didn't have to do that, and it's because the programs are missing.
Well, not only that, but you have Vince also coming in and changing shit like 30 minutes before. It's like 40 minutes before that person's going on to their match. So it's not all the writers, although it's I'd say it's 85% the writers, but you got another 15% that is Vince going in there and decided, no, I want to do this. Oh, we're going to shorten the time on this match to give time to this match. So it's not all the writers, although I agree with you. It is mostly their fault, but you also have to consider what Vince is bringing to the table that's making it.
Well, I think for me,
but his input's the same thing as writing. His input's the same thing as writing.
Yeah.
They're writing it for television. They're not writing it for a wrestling match.
Right.
I think that's why LA Knight's so popular. Because if you mind
about
him,
you
think of when you see him, you see Stone Cold. I mean, he
Rock
does
and Stone
the same
Cold.
thing, climbs on the ropes and does the hands and does all that. Only thing he don't do is flip people off and drink beer. But I mean, it's similar, and I think that's why he's so popular.
You know why he doesn't drink beer, though? You know why he doesn't drink beer? Because it's 2023, and there would be 100,000 mothers that would call WWE tomorrow and say, hey, your wrestlers out there trying to teach my kid to drink beer. That's why they don't do that. Back in the day, they were drowning. The company was drowning. It was going out of business. They didn't give a shit. They were like, hell, you know what? Go out there and slam 6 beers. We don't care. Now, they were probably non-alcoholic beers. We know the secrets to it. But at the same time, in 2023, the cable network would cancel that shit, or Fox Network would cancel that. But you can go on regular cable networks right now, and they say fuck, they say shit, they say all kinds of cuss words. When I was growing up, if you heard the word hell in a TV show, that was a big moment in that show.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, sitcoms back in the day, if they said, the word damn it or hell, you were like, man, it's getting wild in here. Something's about to happen on this show. And now I'm
yeah.
serious. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I can't tell you on regular cable channels how many times I hear the F word, and I'm like, how in the hell do they get away with that? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like
Here's one
FX
for you.
FX channel, they pretty much can do anything they want in their shows.
Yeah. Well, real quick before we go on, for managers, another thing when you saw about a manager, it was a former wrestler that got older, out of their, prime, out of their career, and then they come back and became a manager. Harley Race pops in my mind with Vader. That was
Michael
huge.
Hayes.
Michael
Hayes.
Like, they need right now with this world where like inflation, people needs jobs, hire some of these older talent that might not have a job out there right now. Bring them back that some that can talk or is believable. Heat, like look at Jeff Jarrett. To me, that guy brings heat, but he's still competing today. But bring them back as a manager, and I guarantee it will take off. AEW is going in the right direction with that with Jake, Arn Anderson, but of course health issues and stuff kind of took them out. But that was working for AEW with those two.
Well,
Ben, Ben, you know who would be a great mouthpiece above and beyond anybody else we've mentioned tonight is Jay Lethal.
Yep.
That dude right there as a mouthpiece, you could put him with anybody, and Jay Lethal is going to get him over. That dude, he is incredible, especially on the microphone. Absolutely incredible.
I'll throw this out there. They were popular before, but when Billy Gunn became part of the Acclaimed, oh my God. You would have thought that it was 1997 again, and it was the New Age Outlaws. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn are so over right now, and Billy Gunn's in the best shape of his life. And by him giving them that rub of these guys are up and coming. I'm the veteran, but I can still go. And yes, the Acclaimed, they are their own mouthpieces, but having that legendary guy with you only elevates you even more. So AEW did do very well by making that decision. I will give them that.
So these comments, because we've pretty much been ignoring the comments all night, but
we missed some incredible comments. There's been some really good stuff.
Yeah, I've been reading all of them. They haven't been getting ignored or anything. Someone said they may catch heat, but in their opinion, Vince is killing WWE. Am I wrong or am I right? Honestly, I think the product is on the right track right now. Like, I watched Raw today, and it was great.
I think it's getting better, but something I want to mention about NXT. Last night, they had Braun Breaker against Von Wagner. At the end of it, Braun Breaker put up the top stairs and was going to drop it on his head, and they went black. But the color commentator said, "You son of a bitch." And I'm like, whoa, whoa. And everybody in the back was like, holy shit. And all you hear is holy, and then they blocked it. And I'm like, you didn't block this guy?
Right.
So, yeah.
Bitch
like you
isn't
were
as
saying,
offensive as shit on TV.
I guess my concern is when the finalization of the deal with WWE and the UFC company goes, because they're still in negotiations right now. When that actually gets finalized, I'm worried about what actually is going to happen, because you're not only going to have, Vince's input, but now you're going to have to answer to people at UFC.
Yeah.
Hopefully Dana White, knows at least, because UFC is successful as can be. So obviously the man's doing something right. I just hope that doesn't throw stuff off track. And especially, I hope it doesn't push Triple H out.
Well, I think it's definitely going to push Triple H out. I don't think that's negotiable. I think he's done. When that's finalized, I think he's done. But at the same time, Dana White can promote a hell of a fight. And just like Don King back in the day, he can promote a hell of a fight. And I think right now, it might not be such a bad thing to have that input because I think you're going to get actual, real people from the fight world, from the boxing world, from the wrestling world, from the sports world that are going to be able to tell you a different way to handle the product than the college educated TV show writers. I think a lot of the writers in WWE have never seen wrestling. I think they've studied, acting, and they've studied drama, and that's what they're doing, and that's the problem. Another guy we didn't mention before as a good mouthpiece, Ron Simmons.
Yo, I was actually gonna say that would be perfect for Bobby Lashley.
So look at
what MVP's doing right now. He has what was that tag team? They're joining the Hurt Business now.
Street Profits.
The Street Profits are now wearing suits and are alongside with MVP. I think that'll be amazing.
Well, that's where you would have to come in and have Bobby Lashley and MVP have a great work out their issues.
Here's an example of how they really blew it. Do you remember when Paul Ellering was the manager of what was that tag team in NXT? The two really big guys.
Authorities of Pain or Authors of Pain?
Yeah. As soon as they got to the main roster, they got rid of Ellering, and then the Authors of Pain went down the toilet and were released.
Yep.
Another thing that they ruined that was so over. I mean, it could have been a modern day LOD.
What was their name before that though? They had a different name.
I
know.
remember.
I mean, I know their names were Akam and Razor or something like that, but
no, didn't they have a different name before ALP?
They're rumored to be coming back.
I think they did, but I don't remember.
They signed again just this week, so they'll be back. They're great. Honestly, I'd say the same thing. I'm surprised that the Viking Raiders is still around. I mean, they've gotten a little bit better with Sarah Logan as Valhalla or whatever, but they're pretty much they're never gonna have the belts. So it's just like they're just filler on a 3-hour show.
Well, who is the one
that's the problem? That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Why do we need filler on a 3-hour show? First of all, the show shouldn't be 3 hours; it should be 2 hours. And second of all, why do you need filler? There's so much talent there. Why do you need filler?
I mean, I agree. I don't think they should have filler, but
that's what happened. That's what happened to Nitro. Is they put all this filler in the Nitro. Then you tuned in on Thursday night for Thunder, and Thunder sucked ass because they used all the talent on Nitro, and everybody was off on Thursday. Then you tuned in on Saturday night, TBS 605, Saturday night's main event, WCW, and you didn't know who the hell the wrestlers were anymore because that's where the talent used to wrestle and had the big matches. Then all of a sudden you had a bunch of people out there, you didn't know who they were, and your main event was like Gladiator versus Ming, and you were like, what the hell is this? There's a lot of stuff. That's the big problem too with the shows. You have so many shows, you don't have to make every show a whole day's adventure. Get your storylines in, get your points in, and move the hell on.
You're talking about
AEW is doing that right now. You got Collision on Saturday now, and
Rampage
you've got AEW Dynamite. You got Rampage, and then for a while they were doing Elevation
and Dark.
Yeah, Dark too.
Yeah, and it's
AEW
like
Dark.
if you have that much talent on your roster, and you can't fit, enough content on the main shows, you need to release some people. There's people I haven't seen on TV in years.
Did you see the tab from Wembley Stadium show? Once they started paying all the bills, and all of a sudden, all the money they made was just shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Did you see that? That was
Yep.
insane. I mean, all the money they
yeah.
made from ticket sales, from pay-per-view buys, and all that stuff, and it just absolutely insane. And I'll get this point across, and we've got to move on because we've been basically going on this for an hour. But AEW basically lost their Hulk Hogan by losing CM Punk. Now, was he the problem? I've said that all along. I think he was. What'd you say, Chuck?
I said they lost me too because that was the only reason why I watched.
Yeah, I mean, I think CM Punk was a lot of the problem everywhere he went. But as far as a talent and a performer, he's a good talent and good performer. But as a person, I think he caused a lot of his own personal issues and caused a lot of problems everywhere he worked. But ultimately, he was still their big name. He was still their big draw. You're never going to get the same big draw, at least not right now, out of a Hangman Adam Page. And even out of an MJF.
I can tell you who's the problem. At first, they thought it was Cody. They got rid of Cody. Then they thought it was Punk. They got rid of Punk. I'll tell you exactly who the damn problem is. And I don't care if it's a hot take or not. It's the goddamn Elite.
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
You got Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I'm sorry. I think the Young Bucks suck.
Yep.
I think they've sucked for years.
Yep.
It's a couple of guys that could do some flippy doos and super kicks. To me, they suck. If they were back in the day and fighting against real guys, they'd get their ass handed to them. Kenny Omega was big in Japan. He's not now.
I was just about to say that.
He was, and it's one of those things where you got to look on internally. You got to go, well, why is it that everybody who gets in a fight, it's always with the Elite? Oh, gee, I don't know. Maybe because the Elite started. It's one of those. It's toxic environment.
You can add to that. I mean, right now MJF is getting the biggest pop he's ever got. You can turn around and say Chris Jericho could be the next CM Punk or Hulk Hogan because he is. I mean, look at everybody. They sing his song. He comes out, and then he fights whoever. The only thing, and I've said this time and time again, they have too many times where it's like they have to have a certain amount of chops and a certain amount of super kicks.
Honestly, I think Chris Jericho's fine with where he's at. I don't think he wants to be a top guy anymore. I mean, he's got his podcast. He's got his rock band. He's also older.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of just cool being part of the ride.
Yeah. There are two Hulk Hogans they got left. They lose them, they're fucking done. Is John Moxley, Bryan Danielson. They lose those two names. AEW's done hit the shit.
But those are not Hulk Hogan's. Hulk Hogan.
They're not Hulk Hogan status.
Well, CM Punk coming out for them was equivalent to Hulk Hogan coming into WCW in '94.
Yep,
that's how big that was. And
if AEW is hanging their hat on guys like Miro, you're done. I'm sorry to Miro, but he's you got guys on the roster, I'm sorry, I've never once heard any of my wrestling friends go, man, that Young Bucks match was good. Did you see that match with Miro? They go, oh man, did you see that match with CM Punk and MJF? They beat the shit out of each other. Or did you see that match with Samoa Joe? That match with Samoa Joe and Punk blew the house off. Blew the freaking roof off. Next day,
One thing I'll say about Jericho, though, yeah, he's past his time and all that stuff, but I don't think you could find a better human being out there because that dude right there gives his money away to anybody and everybody that needs it. I mean, you talk about there's so many different things that guy's the first one to contribute to. So as a wrestler, I think his time is done. But as a person, I just wanted to throw that out there. That's a great friggin' dude right there. He does a lot to help people, a lot.
Do you see now they made like a meme or something that saying that now Fozzy has held the largest recorded crowd in history for a rock concert because they did
because of Wembley.
Wembley.
They played
Yeah,
at Wembley.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I said that-
Jericho donates a lot of money to a lot of good causes.
I put this in the chat a month ago or so when CM Punk spray painted his real championship. I said, there we go with the NWO spray painting championship titles. Same thing. You're circling back around, and then that's just shit.
Well, history repeats itself in wrestling, but it doesn't have the same power right now when Punk paints a belt that it did when Hulk Hogan painted a belt. You know, it's just a different time period. But ultimately, Punk was the Hogan of AEW. You know?
Even the commentators were snagging him and giving him shit for spray painting that belt as soon as he was doing it.
Right.
So, next thing.
All right, Steven. Let's move on, Steven. We got way behind on this.
Yeah. So next up is show and tell, and I actually don't have anything this week because I'm kind of taking a sabbatical from wrestling stuff. So Chuck, if you want to kick us off on show and tell this week.
Okay, I got. Like I said, I hooked up into a bunch of Bray Wyatt stuff over the last few weeks.
Firefly Funhouse.
Got that.
Does that have just Bray in it, or does it have the?
It's got the whole. It's everything in that.
Gotcha.
And then I found this. This, I believe it or not, this was Five Below.
Is it a Christmas
awesome.
tournament?
Yep. And then I got. Go ahead.
Is it a metal fig, Chuck, or is it a Christmas ornament?
Is that one of those
Christmas
Chibi's?
ornament?
Okay.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
That is cool, Chuck.
You
And
said you found that at Five and Below?
Yeah, Five and Below. And then I
Nice.
got this off of eBay. This is what I was really talking about. I was really proud of. This thing is
nice.
It's not no bent. It's not bent or anything.
Nice.
That is cool.
And, you know, I was looking for belts last night on the show, trying to find some, but I found that one. And then I thought this was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it is.
Now, on the back of his trunks, I can't remember. Doesn't he have something special on the back of those trunks? Because that was like his first UFC
Yeah,
figure,
I
right?
don't know.
I think he has something. I can't remember what it was, but it seems like on the back of the trunks he has something like a sponsor. I can't remember.
Jimmy John's?
I think it was
No,
Jack
that-
Link.
Jimmy John.
What, Jack
Jimmy
Link,
John's.
is that what it was?
Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
in it.
Jimmy John's on the front of the trunks on the legs. I think those had like something special on the back. I remember that being like a really hard to get figure when they came out. Now this was probably 15 years ago or more, but I think if that's the one I'm thinking of, I think that was his first figure they released.
Okay. And then I picked up a Brock.
Nice.
Oh, Farmer Brock.
Yep. And then I got the other one.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go.
And then
You just went with a lot of B's this week, Bray and Brock.
there's another Brock.
Oh, man.
That's
I
sharp.
opened that one. I opened that one up right there and displayed it, and holy shit, it looks incredible. That's the best Brock I've ever bought.
That's the one with the two belts, right?
Oh, it's a
Yep.
slammy.
I was got a Slammy.
Nice.
That's sharp.
And I got some unique stuff here too. I got Andre the Giant. It talks. It's from the Princess Bride.
Nice.
Anybody
That
want
is
a
cool.
peanut?
That is cool.
And then this is Andre. Now I'm in the A's now.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
Andre as the giant machine.
So I got to ask real quick. Is that a giant machine mask on your shelf?
Yes.
Where in the world did you get that? That is awesome.
I don't know. I can't remember where I got that at. I really can't.
Chuck said, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Not to find out. Another
Yeah, exactly.
Andre the Giant as Princess Bride.
Oh, Fezzik. That's cool.
Damn, Chuck. That's why they call you the Heartbreak Kid right there.
Yeah. And then
Got some fire today, man.
I got
Woo.
Andre and Hulk. And
That's a sharp one. I got that.
Yeah, I got.
See, they should have did something like that for the Mr. T and Hulk.
And then
Well, Chuck kicked my ass, so I'm about to cancel my show and tell.
I've got
You got the Austin replica too?
upside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's sharp.
I got that one in my collection.
The Smoke
That's
and
actually-
Soul belt, baby.
That's the only replica I have. I only have 2 belts. Well, technically 3, but one of them's a kid's belt.
And then I got this.
Nice.
And that's it.
Damn, Chuck.
Nice.
You
Nice.
broke my heart this week, Chuck. Holy shit.
You smashed my heart.
You lost my,
Yep.
I lost my smile after that.
You lost. Ben, that might be the
I don't
first thing
know,
you ever
wait,
said. That was funny,
pretty
man.
good, but wait. That's pretty good. Wait till you see my shit though. I went overboard.
I don't know. Chuck just kicked my ass.
Oh.
Hey, but I guarantee, Chuck, I'll bring a tear to your eye with mine.
Okay.
All right.
With a
Settle
tear
down,
in
boys.
my eye.
It's Roger's turn.
Woo!
Okay, so as you can tell, I got the Bray Wyatt belt.
Nice.
Nice.
And then, so I was talking to everybody in the chat. I found a whole bunch of wrestling cards in one of my cubbies. So I went through to separate them from football cards, and I come across a whole bunch of autographs. The one I'm most proud of, I don't know if it'll show up because of the glare. It's a Rey Mysterio, and he signed it full signature. Rey Mysterio 619.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So that one to me was very sharp. Got to throw a shout out to Ben. I got a MJF Simpsons cartoon and a Bret Hart.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I
Brett.
got one of my favorites, the Bloody Britt Baker.
Hell yeah.
And on the other side, another Bloody Britt Baker.
Doubled
Love
up on
her.
the bloody.
Love her to death.
Me
And then I
too.
got-
She's wearing the OJ gloves.
She does. I got a Danhausen.
Very nice.
The
Very
other
good.
Danhausen. I'm a huge fan of his. Sucks that he got that shoulder injury and he's out. And then I want to thank the tag team champ Will, Tribal Chief, and Donnie Morris for this one.
Roger. I sweated a gallon getting those signed, brother. It was hotter than shit. Oh, man. But that looks like fire.
It does. That blue really makes it pop. So it says, I'm buff, I'm the stuff, and the girls can't get enough.
There you go.
So I'm very proud of that one as well. Thank you again.
I think that deserves a woo.
Woo! So
That was pretty nice.
last thing I'm going to show, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, you're fucking wrong. I got a piece of his outfit right there, Santa Claus. So he lives.
Hey, maybe ask Santa Claus to bring a holiday gift to William because William hasn't got a holiday gift probably, what, 2 years ago? He's
Oh,
still
I
waiting.
know. I still check the mail. I check the mail every day, don't I? Holy shit. Holy shit.
Somebody in the
I'm gonna
comments
go-
wants to know when you're going to send them that Rey Mysterio card, Roger.
Who said that?
I don't know. Facebook user.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. But I
Lou.
want to say I'm going to ask Santa for
Lou.
a present for Ben. It's going to be a JBL figure.
Nice.
But
Now keep me
JBL
warm this year because I'll burn it and now keep me warm.
So some of you guys haven't been with us for all the years we've been going, but every year we start in early November and we do a Secret Santa every year in TRC. So just to kind of touch on what Ben was saying, we'll have like 30 people, 40 people participate, and everybody gets a gift and sends it to somebody else, and nobody knows who their gift came from. It's a great program. We do it every year. It's majorly successful. Kev ran it for us last year. Before that, I think Ben ran it for a couple years. Joe Cummings, ex-admin, he ran it for a couple years, and it's a great program. So probably I don't know what 2 years ago, right, Ben?
Yep.
I was gonna get some Christmas presents from one of the guys that was sending me some stuff, and then the next thing you know, he wasn't in the group anymore, and he just kind of like abandoned life. I don't know what the hell happened to that guy, but every day I still check my mailbox expecting my Christmas present. So.
Yeah. I don't think he's so oosty anymore.
Not so oosty no more.
One day you're going to get a box that's covered in dust, and it's going to be from that guy.
That's going to be incredible, isn't it?
The post office is going to go, have you ever seen Back to the Future 3 at the end? Or no, Back to the Future 2 at the end of it? The guy's going to show up at your door and go, we've had this in our possession for 30 years.
Yep.
All right, Dr. Nick, it's your turn, man.
All right. Woo. So these are some things that I forgot to show before. So I got this from William, WWF Attitude Lanyard. Very cool.
Very cool.
From 98, right? From 1998. Yep. And look at the quality. Look at the condition it's in from 98.
Oh, yeah. There's no fading, no nothing. I mean, it looks brand new just out of a package. It's even got the original tag on it from 98. Yes. So I got a Rumble Heads Kurt Angle, which I'm going to take out because the package is yellowed from age, but I'm going to take that out. I'm a big Kurt Angle fan. I love things like this.
Did you watch the new documentary?
I did. It was amazing.
I loved it.
Yeah,
got Superstar Shawn Michaels.
Nice. Love those lines.
Got Superstars Kevin Nash.
Oh, yeah.
And let me get this. Got Superstars. Hey, yo, Scott Hall.
There you go.
I need to give me one of them and the Kevin Nash.
This is kind of unique. I like doing figure photography, and I actually got this from Five Below. It's a miniature grill set. It's got like hot dogs and a propane tank. I like doing weird crap like that.
How come you never share any of that with the group?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a little while since I've done any. I need to get back into it.
Are you gonna have Razor Ramon like barbecuing?
Yeah. So I don't play many video games except for like the older stuff, and I do play some newer stuff. But I got on PS4 Days Gone. It's like a zombie game. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah. I've heard it's good. I haven't played it.
I have that game too. I've never opened it, but now I'm gonna have to open it.
I got Macho Man Randy Savage.
You got that at Walmart, right?
Yep.
The cream rises to the top.
And
the
I
cream
got
of the crap.
Let me tell you something, brother.
There you go.
That looks more like Matt Riddle dressed up like Hulk Hogan, if I'm being
honest. Have you seen all those memes lately about Hogan and all the lies that he's told? And they have the meme about him telling Tony Khan to fire CM Punk.
Yeah. I got Ultimate Warrior. I got.
Someone in the comments said you should have
Morgan.
HBK and Triple H from DX work the barbecue.
Yep.
I could do that, yeah. I got Liv Morgan.
Nice.
It's a Fun on the Run Funko 2023 edition. I got this from Ben. I already had the Build-A-Figure piece, but I really love Dolph Ziggler from the SummerSlam line.
That was a hard figure to find. I had a hell of a time finding that.
That's an underrated figure too, because everybody
just wants it
for the parts, but it's a good figure.
Yep. I got this one for $1 at TJ Maxx.
Wow.
There's your manager.
Yep.
There's your manager right there.
Oh, yeah, he could easily.
Hell,
Yeah, they
you
ain't
could-
doing shit. They ain't doing shit
Here's
with
some
him. You may as
Lucy.
well.
Here's some Lucy's. I got the Usies.
Nice.
You got the
Lucy.
Lucy's?
And I,
But the,
I
she's
got
got
this
the
from
Lucy.
Ollie's. It's Solar. It's one of the Reaction Lucha Libre figures. It's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
that is pretty cool.
That's like the generic Rey Mysterio.
And this one, I'd never heard of this before, but
Roy
it is
Mysterio.
a Lucha Libre wrestler. I don't know what cartoon this is, but I got Masco from Power Players. I've never even heard of it, but it's little generic wrestler guy from a cartoon. Thought it was pretty cool.
That is cool.
I always like adding weird crap. I got this for
Now,
clearance.
see,
for
something like that,
$13.
that
I got
Masco guy, I would grade that and encapsulate that. Just because it's just so like unique.
Oh
and
yeah,
off the
it's
wall.
something definitely unique.
It would look incredible.
Oh yeah,
encapsulated. You know.
Nice
and
pickups,
I got this
man.
for on clearance. The forklift. This was $13 clearance at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And I also got this from Ben. This was impossible for me to find. The Chase edition of Samu. For some reason, my Walmart never got it. And thanks to William and Donnie Morris, I got the One Man Gang autograph. Got
That
this
looks
in the mail the
cool.
other
Hell
day.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
That looks awesome.
I think
man.
it's
He does a
amazing.
great job.
That blue pops. Oh yeah,
Nick, when I tell you,
I got this.
when I tell you it was hot, when I tell you it was hot, it was 109 degrees outside, and I swear it was 100 degrees inside the convention. I was sweating my ass
Damn.
off. I'm telling you, man, it was crazy.
So I got this from a Get Out of My House.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Get this out of my house.
You didn't have to laugh
Holla!
all like you're gonna be looking at that later.
Holla if you hear me.
There you go.
Big Papa Pump.
Did you
and
get that
Marty
magazine
Jannetty.
from? Did you get that magazine from Ben?
Yes. Yep.
Might want to check see if there's any sticky pages.
Oh,
Oh
there's
no,
sticky
it's good.
pages.
It's good. I got a Kurt Angle.
Nice.
Nice.
I got a Kimchi.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is kind of a rare autograph, actually. Beaver Cleaver.
Very rare, yeah.
Oh, yep.
This one's beautiful. I love this one so much. The King Haku.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful Blacktop Bully. I've been adding a lot of like really weird gimmicks to my autograph collection.
But it's cool as shit. It's so
Oh, yeah.
cool to see it. It's so cool.
I got a Jimmy Hart TNA promo. That pink really is awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Wearing the purple jacket, baby.
You need to get those
Okay.
sorted. So somebody said in the comments, and I agree.
Okay, and
I think Nick only buys from Ben and I, so I think he's pretty
yeah,
good to
they're
go.
all sorted from Ben and William. And
Certification.
this actually popped up the day after he passed away. I already had one, but I wanted to get another one to have the other head on it. I picked up another Chainsaw Charlie.
Nice.
Nice.
Very unique gimmick. It's talking about Rick Boogs. I got Rick Boogs, the regular
Oh, yeah.
edition. I'm almost done. Rob Van Dam, Ruthless Aggression.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
The whole
See, now
effing show.
That right there is how you display a belt in a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Around his arm.
Oh, yeah. And I got, if you will, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, baby.
Nice.
That's right.
I got Ultimate
I'm
Shawn
about to go
Michaels.
and open my Dusty Rhodes. I forgot I had one in the box. I'm about to take that sucker out.
I
Do
got
it.
Ultimate AJ Styles.
Oh, I love that one.
And
I need to get me one now.
So I normally don't care, but I was like, you know what? I'll see if I can get a discount. This thing was all busted up, and I asked the manager if I could get a discount on it. Literally, I'm opening anyway, but fuck him. Ruby Riot. This was the only one that they had. I think the new sets are starting to show up, which is pretty cool.
But did you get that on a discount?
I did. I ended up getting it for $10.
Damn, they gave me like half off.
Yep. And I forgot all about this. I got this from Ben last month, actually. The Uncle Howdy mask.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be putting that on a styrofoam head, and I got 2 more things, and then I'll be done. I got a Abe Knuckleball Swartz autograph.
Oh yeah.
And these I don't remember if I got these from Ben or William. I think I got them from William. Vengeance, Night of Champions, and Cyber Sunday. I think I got them from William.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my last thing, I've been looking for one of these for years, and they've always been super expensive. I got a 6-sided ring TNA.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
These things are so hard to find. I got this for $22 on eBay shipped.
Damn.
Nice.
But that's my haul.
They were pretty much giving that thing away.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Awesome.
All right, Will, top that.
Well, so I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Have a great night, everybody. I'm just kidding. So real quick, I'll show you. This right here. Could not wait for this set to come in. You guys know I bought an extra set. I threw some up on the live last night for anybody that only, some people only want just Undertaker or just Vader or whatever. So I threw some up last night, but I got my set here, and I'm not gonna rip them all open, but I am gonna, have a little bit of fun on the podcast because I haven't been doing that. So first, I will tell you on these new ones, I do not like the packaging. Some people do, some people don't, but if you're going to get one signed, it's really convenient to get it signed. You literally just slide the cardboard up out of the plastic. You would get it signed. Then you'd slide it right back down in the plastic. Then you would put it in a Hasbro protector. Or you'd send it to me to have, APG or Jeff Lowe grade it for you. But, I've already got the one that I'm going to get signed set to the side. So these, hopefully Thomas Brunette is watching, are going to get completely ripped open, and
I think he
that's
is watching.
that. So, and just for the fun of it, we're just going to give it the old college try. So,
Wow!
Very cool. Very cool. So we got that.
Ben just had
Got
flashbacks to that JBL autograph.
Yeah.
I love the retro series. I have every retro they've come out with so far. Absolutely love them. These figures are awesome. Like I said, I put some up last night. They sold very, very quick. Great figures. You guys already saw, I think, in the post.
You should send that to APG and get that encapsulated.
Well, the thing is, I already have a huge retro set that are all loose, but I've got some stuff getting done. So I'm definitely working on that. I'm always after the APG stuff. So I don't remember if I showed it last week or not. I don't think so because I think I just went and got it. But the Bret Hart encapsulated, graded right there. I mean, just incredible. I love this thing. It came out beautiful. Jeff does incredible work for us. Really, really love this figure. So, those are expensive figures by themselves. And then on top of that, getting it signed, getting it encapsulated, it's definitely a personal collection piece. I'm not gonna.
I'll say to that, I sent the one in too, Will, and that thing is amazing. How it looks.
Oh yeah.
All the way through it.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, he does great work. And yeah, I've actually seen yours. I never took the bubble wrap off, but I've seen yours before it was completed, and it looks great. My big item of the week, because I'm not going to show everything, because I did get a lot of haul in this week. As you guys, if you were on the show last night listening to us talk, we need shelf space because we got a lot of stuff coming in, and had a lot of stuff coming in. But my big item of the week is the Gorilla Monsoon Elite, already open, glasses on, microphone in his hand. Beautiful Gorilla Monsoon. Very, very rare, very expensive, elite, extremely expensive. They're over $100 and worth every single penny. So the reason I wanted that one so bad, I had it before. I lost the glasses. I lost some accessories to it, and I ended up selling it because I'd lost some of the accessories. But I absolutely love that Gorilla Monsoon, and the reason I wanted it so bad again and paid so much for it is because I'm planning on encapsulating the Gorilla Monsoon and the Bobby Heenan Elite together inside, side by side as the greatest commentary team of all time. And I'm hoping to make a good special project out of that for Jeff. So I've been talking to him about that. And I can't wait to get that done and show you guys because, Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon is just major, major history.
You should
Last
get
thing
that
I'll talk
Mean
about,
Gene.
the Bret Hart out of what's that?
So you should get one of those
What's
Mean
that?
Genes and stick it in there.
I have the Mean Gene, but I want Bobby and Gorilla to be together, and I may put Mean Gene in later with somebody else. I may put him in with a different Bobby or something, but I definitely want Bobby and Gorilla together. So this is the new defining moments. Bret Hart jacket's beautiful. The figure itself is beautiful, but I will tell you, my biggest disappointment with these new defining moments was the box. I knew the boxes were going to be smaller, but the box is just very undesirable. For it being a defining moments box, it should be something that it really stands out. Something you should be really proud of. And the new boxes on the defining moments, I was very disappointed with. Other than that, though, that figure came out pretty good. I love the attire. WrestleMania 8 attire. I'm going to add the Intercontinental Championship to him as soon as I can. Put a belt around his waist because he won the Intercontinental Championship there at WrestleMania 8 from Piper. But overall, the box quality was such crap that I bought it to get signed and to get encapsulated and all that, but I hated the box so bad I just ripped them open and displayed them, and he displays perfectly well. Beautiful figure, but really disappointed in the box. So that's all I'm going to show this week. I got a few more things, and I got a lot coming in, like I said. But some of you guys definitely kicked my ass, but none of you guys showed an elite Gorilla Monsoon.
That's right. They didn't. All right, Ben, it is your turn.
To answer that somebody's question about did they ever make a Lord Alfred Hayes figure, I don't think they ever did.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It'd be awesome
they
if
should've.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had an autograph of his and sold it, but never had a figure. All right, mine same thing with like William. Got the retros in. Now I got all the retros complete.
How much was that pack?
They'll keep going up like 60 something, 70, 60, 70 with shipping and everything.
It was worth every penny.
Yep, worth every penny. Probably one of my favorite whole line, every character. And then today, I've been dwindling down, taking back or selling off the AEW figures. So I took 2 Kenny Omegas back to Walmart, found these bad boys. Been on it, had it for sale, sold it, but I was able to pick back up the Andre the Giant for my collection.
Sweet.
And
That's a
then
nice one. I got it over here.
Brock Lesnar. So I got the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So that one was a 2. And I kept passing on them because I got this figure and this box is in great shape. Might get it signed. But I got the Rob Van Dam, which that one does have the belt.
Van Dam.
So that one was one of my favorites out of the newer Ultimate. And then Chuck, here's the one I think is going to bring the tear to your eye. I actually won this, didn't know it, and then all of a sudden it had money and said your thing's getting shipped. Money was taken out of my account. I was like, what the hell? What did I get? And lo and behold, I won. I put an offer in and I got it. But you know me, I'm a big magazine collector / poster collector. This magazine is very expensive. I had the 2 posters in it, and I was very excited to get it for what I offered.
Is it a sticky magazine?
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been looking for that for a long time.
Spotlight magazine with the 2 posters on the front to back posters on the inside.
Wow.
And it was in great shape. The thing was, when I got it, the only thing which they didn't say, show it, my nitpicking thing is just right up there on that, got a little crease right there. But I'm going to put it in the dragon board. But I'm going to remove the posters one day, frame them. But yes, I was able to get the Spotlight magazine of Andre.
That is a rare one for sure. It took me almost 10 years to find one.
So where did you find that at?
Evil Bay. Unfortunately, I would like what me and William talked about, like to give our money to the members of the group first, but unfortunately for that one, I've been looking at Spotlight magazines on there, and I've noticed the prices are going up, and then the ones with posters on the inside are even more. But that one, I made an offer, and I got it for my offer, because usually that's a minimum $50 to $100 plus magazine with the posters.
Hey, odd question. Before I throw these away, does anybody collect these? Because if you do, you can have my empty boxes. Like, I know people collect them and display them with their stuff, and they break down really easy in the back, so they fold flat, so they can be shipped in an envelope really cheap if anybody needs them. I got 2.
What is it?
Go ahead. The box is the retro. The box. I know a lot of people collect these and display them and stuff. But, I mean, I ended up throwing out probably 10 of the old ones because nobody ever wanted it. I would, offer them up in the lives and stuff. Nobody ever claimed them. But if you want them, they fold flat, and especially if you already have an order coming, they literally fold flat in the envelope, and they just ship with the stuff. So, and they don't weigh anything.
Yeah.
So
they're nice boxes, but I end up tossing them too.
Shane.
Yo.
Last but not least.
Oh, pick this up. A little Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And then
that's a nice fit. That one in the whole Hogan and Andre.
It's a whole lot better than that new one. Who was the new one? Was it Cena and somebody that's so plain?
Rock and Cena.
Rock and Cena.
No, it was Shawn Michaels, wasn't it? Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, it was somebody.
Triple H.
Like a SummerSlam or something.
There was a Triple H and Ronda Rousey or something.
I don't know. It's so plain. Like, they put no effort into it at all.
Yeah.
I saw at GameStop they had the Triple H and Shawn from SummerSlam 02.
I love that figure. The Foley.
When I went to Nashville, I stopped at a Walmart, and man, I wish I would have had more money on me because I probably would have got a lot more. But found this Mandy Rose. I thought she was pretty cool. I like the little wings in the background.
Now I found the 2 regular ones. One was a chase and one wasn't, for like $3 at Walmart.
Figured I'd pick up a rock, hang them on the wall.
That Mandy Rose is actually a rare figure now that she got fired.
Yep.
Found the Tori, picked her up.
Yep.
I thought that was cool.
There's some Tori signings coming up too, Shane.
Yeah. I seen this one guy was having her or something. So I'm gonna look into that. And then found the Happy Corbin.
Yeah, I passed on that one. I
like how he's got the bum ass Corbin face up there.
Yep.
And then over here in the on the side is his white t-shirt that was all stained up from when he was the bum ass Corbin.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's cool.
And
Soft
then
goods are the way to go.
I got this cool Sergeant Slaughter print.
Oh hell yeah,
Ah,
that is sweet.
Sergeant
Nice.
Slaughter is one of my favorites because he was G.I. Joe and a
Nice.
wrestler. And then the piece that I was talking about last week came in the mail today. It's kind of big.
that's what she said.
Oh hell yeah, signed by the
that's
Undertaker.
awesome.
Nice.
Very cool.
Hell yeah,
Excellent, man. That's piece of the night right there for me.
that's beautiful.
That deserves.
I think that deserves a grunt.
Got certification on the back.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought
Beautiful.
that was pretty sweet. I was
I think
happy.
I recognized that framing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was paying on this for the last couple weeks from the Doll Man, and finally
Yep.
got it in the mail today.
Hell yeah. You know what? Sometimes that's the way to go. You know, I try to encourage people all the time. You know this. I mean, you listen to me talk during the live sales. I try to encourage people all the time. Just because it's a little more expensive doesn't mean you shouldn't say, you know, hey, you know what? I'd like to get that piece. And is it okay if I can make some payments? Is it okay if we can work something out? You know, I do that all the time for people because I want people to get what they want. I don't want to sit there and tell you, you know, you or anybody else, nah, man, I'm sorry, you know, it's a couple $100 or $300 and I need the money right now. I would much rather hold it for a couple weeks or 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it may be than have somebody not get what they want. That's what we're in this thing for. That's what we fucking do, you know. And that's that. Shane, you just made an excellent point right there, man, and I really appreciate the hell out of that. So shout out to Shane. I'm gonna give Shane a woo. Woo!
Thanks.
Somebody was asking if you got that Slaughter print from William White.
Yeah.
Doll Man.
Yep.
Cool. Shout out to William White, man.
Yep.
Friend of ours. I get some stuff off of him sometimes.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours. Good dude.
That Loose Hogan I got last week was from him.
Dollman's a good guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his name is Will, you know, for one. Already in the good graces.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way, baby.
Yep.
That's right. So next up, we got Cheap Pete. Has anybody got anything for Cheap Pete this week, or we can just move on to the game?
I'm gonna keep it positive. I got no Cheap Pete.
I don't have
Yeah, I
anything.
just wanted to say I hope Kevin's kid's doing all right, and I hope Brian had a safe drive in.
Yeah, I
Since
forgot to
they're,
kind of mention
not
that.
with us.
Forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show, but yeah, that's why Kevin's kid is sick right now, and Brian was on his way back from a trip, so that's why they're both not here.
And what I tell you guys all the time, nobody takes better care of their children than Kev Buckler. Nobody does. I mean, that dude, his whole life is devoted to his kids and TRC. So shout out to our brother Kev.
Yep.
That's right, man. What do you usually call him? The hardest working man in TRC?
Call him the wise man.
The wise man. That's right.
The wise man. Yep. Wise man. Y'all ready to play this game or what?
I'm ready,
let's
man.
do it.
I'm ready to have this game going here. Show you guys what's up.
And speaking of games, I'm ready for football starting off tomorrow.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you and me both.
Go
the Chiefs and the Lions, right?
Go
Chiefs
Lions.
right?
Yep, Chiefs and
Go
Lions.
Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
I'm cheering for the Lions in that one.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
They'll be on Sunday.
Doubles.
You know, I was really disappointed. I had a rough Sunday morning this past week because I kept thinking the Bucks game was on at 1:00, and then when it wasn't, I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to go to the NFL app, and I realized that I was off by a week, and last week they were off. So
Yeah,
it was a rough Sunday, man. It was a rough one.
It's because
All
they
right, so
they used to not do that week break between the preseason and the regular season, but now they do.
Well,
And
well, they used to have the 4-game preseason.
Yeah, they only got
And
3
they
now.
went to the
They
3-game
added a
preseason.
game to the regular season.
yeah.
Yep. All right, so this week's game, guys, is Name That Wrestler. Now, I spent over an hour on this game trying to make it friendly for everybody. So I'm hoping it's going to be better for everybody. It'll go faster. And we're going to wrap up on time today, too. So we're going to get through this. It's 15 questions. And, man, I wish I was playing because this is my ideal game right here. Very first question going out is going to go to Steven because he's first in line.
That's right. And I
This
got my comments in.
This wrestler defeated Ric Flair for the World Championship at Fall Brawl 1993.
'93. Ricky Steamboat.
That is incorrect. Heartbreak Kid. Woo!
Sting.
That is incorrect. Mr. Roger Elkins.
Was it Bret Hart?
That is incorrect. Dr. Nick.
Was that Hulk Hogan?
That is incorrect. Ben Boham.
Was it Vader?
It was not Vader. That's incorrect. Shane Powers.
Well, I was gonna guess Hogan too. So said 93.
Yep. Fall Brawl 93.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So what do we do when nobody got it, Steven? Do we just skip it or what do we do?
I mean, I could try to guess again, but I'd probably be wrong. I would say just go ahead and answer it. And
okay. So the answer to that was Ravishing Rick Rude
Rick
at
Rude.
Fall Brawl 93.
Yep. Did they do the Flair for Gold interview?
Yeah.
Okay, I just saw that. Shoot, I just saw that on my post through Facebook the other day. Dang it.
Well, then there's no reason you shouldn't have answered it then.
I don't know, but I forgot he was world heavyweight champion.
All right, number 2. Question number 2. This one goes to the Heartbreak Kid, Chuck Waggle. This wrestler would make a huge splash in WWF in 1996 by attacking Gorilla Monsoon and immediately asserting himself as a heavyweight contender.
I have no idea.
Okay, Roger Elkins.
Wasn't Typhoon, was it?
No. Dr. Nick.
Big Van Vader.
Big Van Vader's correct. Dr. Nick's got a point.
I would have got that too, but it didn't start with me this time.
Now I tried to put some hints in there, like huge splash. Remember he did the big splash on Gorilla, and
yeah, that kind of gave it away for me.
yeah, I tried hard, man. All right, number 3. This one goes to Roger Elkins. This wrestler would win the WWF Championship in a record 9 seconds in 1994.
Goldberg?
That's incorrect. Dr. Nick.
1994. And it was the WWF Championship?
Yes.
Okay. Was it Diesel?
That's correct.
He beat Bob Backlund.
Yep.
That's correct. Yep. We don't do
Good
extra
job.
credit, Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick's got
All right.
2 points.
Yep, and it's his turn, his question. So this question is, this world-famous wrestler would make his pay-per-view debut at the 1996 Survivor Series.
Rocky Maivia.
That's correct. Nick's got 3. Ben Boham.
Damn you, Nick.
This wrestler would win the 1998 King of the Ring tournament, but never accomplished much after winning.
Hmm. 98. I have no idea. 98. King of the Ring. I'm just going to guess that's wrong. Billy Gunn.
Okay, that's incorrect. Shane Powers.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Steven?
Who won King of the Ring 1998?
Yes,
Mark Mero.
that's incorrect.
Damn.
Heartbreak Kid.
Haku?
It's incorrect. Roger.
Is it Booker T?
That's incorrect. Dr. Nick.
Was it Ken Shamrock?
That is correct.
Damn it.
What the hell?
Dr. Nick with 4.
Dr.
All
Nick
right.
is not allowed to play. Taking him
Yeah,
off
watch.
the stream.
Watch what happens next week. Dr. Nick will have to write the questions so he can't play. That's what happened to me. All right. It's whose turn is it? Shane's?
I think
No, it's
Ben.
Ben.
wasn't Ben.
Is it Ben?
It's Shane's.
You
It's
skip
Shane,
Ben's
right?
turn.
Yeah. No, I gave Ben one. Shane, this wrestler became a big thing after winning the WWE Championship at SummerSlam in 2002.
Big Show.
That's incorrect. Steven,
Brock Lesnar.
that is correct.
Coming for you, Nick.
There you go. Next question. Steven, this wrestler was announced as 8 feet tall in WWF and would have a brief feud with The Undertaker, and then shortly after, his career would be over.
Giant Gonzalez.
That is correct. All right, up next,
That's 2.
Chuck Heartbreak Kid. This wrestler would have more than a 2-year undefeated streak in WWF from 92 to October of 93.
WWF, you say?
Yep, 2-year undefeated streak.
I don't know.
Okay. Roger Elkins.
Shawn Michaels?
That's incorrect. Dr. Nick.
Tatanka.
That is correct.
This is
Okay.
the Dr. Nick show, man.
All right, I think it's Roger's turn, right? This time?
Yeah.
This wrestler won his first major singles title in WWF at SummerSlam 91.
Diesel?
That's incorrect. Dr. Nick?
Okay, first singles title, 1991. Was it Mr. Perfect?
That's incorrect. Ben Bowman?
Okay.
Bret Hart.
That is correct. All right, Dr. Nick, this question's for you. This wrestler would lose a loser leaves town match on Monday Night Raw in January of 1993 to Mr. Perfect.
Trying to think. Was it Ric Flair?
That is correct.
Damn.
Ben Bowman, this question's for you. This wrestler was the first ever entrant into the WWF/WWE Hall of Fame.
Andre the Giant.
That is correct.
That was a guess.
Damn it, Ben! You should have been wrong. You didn't know that.
How in the hell are we going to remember the damn Hall of Fame?
I remember that.
Like 20, 30 years.
Well, that's what started the whole thing.
First
was
person?
Andre.
I thought it might have been McMahon. McMahon Sr.
No. All right, next question for Shane. Although it's claimed this wrestler didn't debut until King of the Ring 93, he actually debuted earlier that year by wrestling in the Royal Rumble.
Diesel?
That's incorrect. Steven.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Although it's claimed this wrestler didn't debut until King of the Ring 93, he actually debuted earlier that year by wrestling in the Royal Rumble.
Mr. Perfect.
That's incorrect. Chuck.
Stone Cold.
That's incorrect. Roger.
The Rock.
That's incorrect. Dr. Nick.
Okay, 93. King of the Ring. Was it Crush?
That's incorrect.
Okay.
Ben Boham.
93. Jerry King Lawler.
That's correct. 100% correct. Very good.
Yeah,
All
Ben,
right.
good job.
Whose turn is it now?
Mine.
Yeah.
Steven. Here we go. Let's see here. This wrestler would win the WWF Championship at WrestleMania only to lose it within 3 minutes of winning it.
Yokozuna.
That's correct. We got 2 questions left, guys. Heartbreak Kid, this one's for you. This wrestler would be attacked by Earthquake and Jimmy Hart in the summer of 1990, only to turn around at Survivor Series to join Earthquake and change his ring name.
Typhoon.
That's correct. And last question of the night. Roger, it's coming to you first. This wrestler would begin his path of destruction at WrestleMania 7 by defeating Jimmy Snuka.
Oh.
The Undertaker.
That's correct.
Hell yeah.
Nice job. Nice
They all got
job.
the point. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That was the last question, guys.
I'll tie for second place with Ben at 3 each. You know,
I agree.
Dr. Nick over here just was placed in the right spot in the game. You know,
Man, anytime anybody wins, you got some sort of story on why they won.
Man, William, you and I aren't going to be allowed to play anymore.
I know. I'm already not allowed to play. I'm having to make the game.
Next is going to be me and you collaborating on the game we can't play.
I know. It's crazy. We've got to figure out. We've got to figure out before next week how we can do it in teams. We've got to be able to do it in teams. We've got to be able to pair people up, and because some of us know one era, some of us know another era, so we've got to be able to pair it up somehow.
For sure. But I guess that kind of wraps it up for us today, man. Looks like we're going to be getting out of here on time today.
Hell yeah.
We covered a lot of stuff, though.
It was a really good educational show. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of, stuff that we talked about. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't think show and tell can get any better. Every week, show and tell is like just an incredible time seeing everybody's stuff. But that's what I tell people all the time is post your stuff on the page because we want to see it and other members want to see it too. And, it's really engaging. So I really appreciate the show and tell segment. The very first segment we had, the stuff we talked about, like I said, sometimes I think there's a reason for those conversations. Even if we don't know the reason, I think there's a reason for those conversations. So, I apologize if anybody's like totally against all that stuff or, a non-believer and all that. But, I think there's a reason for all that, so I'll do my wrap up part and say thank you to everybody in this room right here. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Fucking love you guys, and I hope you know it. And the members out there listening, watching, participating, liking posts, commenting, posting their pictures on the item of the day post, and joining us in the podcast, joining us in the live sales. Even if you're not buying anything, hanging out, checking out the merchandise. I appreciate you as a person. It's not even a business standpoint. We do our business on there, but we have a lot of fun too. We travel, we do all these things that we do. I sweated my ass off for 4 days in a row for you guys because I appreciate you. And let me tell you, that was the first time in like 3 years that I had sweated that much. So, but I did it for you guys and I appreciate you. So thank you all very, very, very much from me personally.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go
Please, people, don't leave. Don't leave yet.
I got something I want to ask you guys, William and Ben.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Shit.
Now we're in trouble.
Telling the members don't leave yet. Breaking news. Sit it in the member chat. Just ask. We're trying to figure out ways, especially at shows, like what kind of talent to bring, who you think was a good idea. I've thought of this. Just been thinking lately. It's kind of a last minute decision. TRC will be at the Bluegrass WrestleCon in Ashland, Kentucky, October 7th. And on Labor Day, I was asked by the promoter, hey, do you want to buy a table? It's this kind of price. I'm like, sure. So I got a table. I was like, well, do I do merchandise or do I bring a talent? Well, I reached out to one talent. The talent was unavailable. And I reached out to the second one. And as of today, we confirmed it. They agreed to it. It is an independent star. It is a female talent. So this, I think, will actually be our first female talent that we've ever had. But she's been on AEW as the therapist for during the Billy Gunn Acclaimed and Ass Boys segment. She's been on Impact, WWE SmackDown, and she's now on Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is getting ready to do the Netflix series show, getting ready to come on there called The Wrestlers. Our guest will be Tiffany Nueves, and I'm very pumped to work with her. I know a lot of people might not know exactly who she is. I'll post pictures and stuff. The autos and stuff will be at a great price. I'm not going to gouge people. They're going to be very affordable. I'm looking forward to that. She's going to be an up and coming talent, which I think she'll probably be part of one of the big three companies, either WWE, Impact, or AEW very soon. And
someone asked if it was Sunny.
No, it's not Sunny. But I'm very excited about it. I will be doing pre-orders and stuff. Right now, I'm working on all the images and stuff, but That's the breaking news. So, and that's all I got.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
y'all, everybody. And that's, yeah.
So, everybody, again, like everybody said so far, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it very much. We do this not just for us, but for you guys, especially you guys. One last thing, make sure you pay your payments in by Friday at 8 p.m. for anything you ordered on Tuesday, unless you have a deal with William or Ben.
If not, I'm coming to your house and crop dusting you.
And he's got the gas for it, for
You
sure.
got it.
And he got the grill. And he's got the grill for it too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You'll be cooking
Chuck,
up
did you
ass
have
burgers.
something? Did you have something for on here or afterwards?
Afterwards.
Okay. Oh God, we're in trouble, Ben.
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and shut this thing off, man. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next Wednesday.
Thank
Be sure to
you.
check out live show on
Later,
Tuesday
fellas.
nights. 8 p.m. And football starting tomorrow. Hell yeah. All right. See you guys.
See you.
Good night, everybody.